And it doesn't finish there with Jericho, though. Looks absolutely brilliant. That might be my favourite figure, actually. Scrap what I just said before. I think Jericho might be the best one.
Welcome to the history of Retro Series 7, and we start again on September 28th, 2017 with Chris Jericho as the first reveal of Series 7, the prototype of Chris Jericho here in the ring with The Undertaker and with the New Day on that day, revealed from Mattel. Mid-October then, we got the first FML numbers for the upcoming figures. We got Chris Jericho here together with Big Cass and Shawn Michaels. So we now know there will be maybe 3 upcoming retros. Big Cass got cancelled. We had that last week, but with Shawn Michaels we had the second of the retro series. But here now we have to take a look on this guy, Kalisto. Why have we take a look on Kalisto? Because Kalisto was planned as a retro and he was also inside Mayhem as an uploadable character. Here you see him in the menu of Mayhem and here in action.
Kalisto! Salida del Sol!
And Kalisto, her FML number was the 46. And with that, Kalisto got cancelled, but the FML 46 and Kalisto still existing. When you use your Google machine and put it in Kalisto retro figure, you will see this link to Walmart, the WWE Kalisto retro app action figure, and you see the FML 46, but it's no longer Kalisto, it's Chris Jericho. The same on Amazon WWE Kalisto retro app figure, and you see Chris Jericho. And in 2018, January 29th, Wrestling Shop UK first revealed the first pictures of the retro ring, and on the back side of the retro ring we saw the first images of Sheamus and Kurt Angle. And in May of 2018, Ringside Collectibles revealed Series 9 is coming, and it's gonna be Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Sheamus.
New figures in the retro line. Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Sheamus, and Shawn Michaels. And Kurt Angle has the Angle Slam. Chris Jericho has his scarf and a clothesline. Sheamus has the bro kick, and Shawn Michaels has Sweet Chin Music.
So on the first day of San Diego Comic-Con 2018, Mattel revealed Retro Series 7 for the first time. We saw the figures at the Mattel booth: Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Sheamus, and Shawn Michaels. And on the next day, the figures moved to the front of the display, and that we have a great look on the stands of all 4 figures. But it was very special, those 4 stands didn't make it to the actual release. And Series 7 also completed the Collect Them All Retro Figures poster that was in a huge wall print on the backside of the Mattel booth display of the retros, but also on that awesome 8x10 autograph picture from Mattel that got signed at Comic-Con by superstars like Becky Lynch and AJ Styles. On October then, on Twitter, we read the upcoming 4 series of retro figures for the next year, for 2019. And in late 2018, in December, Mattel and WWE produced and then showed a retro style commercial for the retro figures, and of course Retro Series 7 was included.
Check out the new WWE Retro figure!
Yeah!
Kurt Angle hits the Angle Slam!
Sheamus raises the bar with the bro kick! Daniel Bryan hits the running knee!
Kinshasa!
Finger splash!
Bray Wyatt puts him away with Sister Abigail! Chris Jericho hits the code breaker.
You just made the list.
HBK tunes up the band.
And the all-new Zack Ryder's gonna fist pump your face. Scan, unlock, and play on your smartphone in WWE Mayhem. New WWE Retro figures from Mattel, so close to the real thing.
It's like being in the ring.
Welcome to Ringside Collectibles WWE Figure Insider. Today we'll relive the slams, mayhem, and attitude of yesteryear with Mattel's WWE Retro Series 7, featuring Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Sheamus, and Chris Jericho. The Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle shows his true colors in his solid blue singlet with an American flag in the shape of a shield printed on his abdomen. Kurt is outfitted in short blue knee pads and all-white laced boots. His head scan shows off a younger version of Angle from his 1999 debut. He's sporting a full head of hair and a brimming smile. Each retro figure features a signature superstar move, so prepare to go to the mat as the American hero slams his foes down with the dreaded Angle Slam. WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels stops the show with his first retro figure. A snarl can be found on the face of Michael's head scan and a full head of long brown hair tied up in a ponytail. His red pants are styled after chaps and feature broad white stripes on each leg decorated with red crosses and broken tiger striped hearts on his waistline. Get ready to tune the band because with all retro figures you can perform awesome action moves such as Michael's famous Sweet Chin Music. One half of the tag team The Bar, Sheamus joins a growing list of superstars receiving the retro treatment. The tag team specialist dons a red beard and his signature mohawk that doesn't look stupid, contrary to popular belief. He's also outfitted in red trunks decorated in black stripes, red knee pads, and black boots. Speaking of which, with a flick of his leg, the Irish superstar delivers his devastating brogue kick. No list can be completed without the list holder himself, Chris Jericho. His head scan displays a touch of arrogance plastered on his face, while his head and facial hair are both cut stylishly. You'll find that unlike many of the past retro figures, this one comes with an added accessory. The Ayatollah of Rock and Roll comes outfitted in his $750 scarf. His in-ring attire consists of gray and black kick pads, black knee pads, and purple and gray trunks decorated with his last name on the front, and on the rear the acronym GOAT, meaning greatest of all time. That's all for Mattel's WWE Retro Series 7, but make sure that you pick up all of these great figures and so much more available at Ringside Collectibles WrestlingFigures.com.
Surprise!
But only short time later, on January 8, 2018, Chris Jericho shocked the world when he announced that
All in with All Elite Wrestling! Yes, 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 yes!
but that was too late for WWE to react. They put Chris Jericho out of the program, out of the intro for WWE, but it was too late to cancel his figures, and so his WWE Retro figure was finally released after he was gone from the company.
Say yeah! Say yeah!
And now let's have a look over Series 7. We have FML 34 Shawn Michaels, FML 45 Kurt Angle, FML 46 Chris Jericho, and FML 47 Sheamus. And here are the cards of Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Sheamus. And now we will show the back sides as well. Here Shawn Michaels with the action move Sweet Chin Music. Mattel, you see they changed here the layout of the cards. The a lot criticized stance was removed. They put the Mayhem code on a small piece of paper, so no stance. They bring the action sticker back, and on the back side there then was a big part of the card for the Mayhem game. They showed how to use that QR code, so no bigger picture of the retro figure, but only small ones to show the action move. So in January of 2019, Retro Series 7 finally reached Walmart's, and so all the collectors now got the chance to get all the 4 figures, and of course the Chris Jericho figure that was in that case the first All Elite Wrestling superstar with a released figure on that time. And now let's have a look on my collection of Retro Series 7. And now let's take a look on my collection of Retro Series 7. We have FML 34, Shawn Michaels with a Sweet Chin Music. We have FML 45, Kurt Angle with the Angle Slam. FML 46, Chris Jericho with the Code Breaker. And we have FML 47, Sheamus with the Bro Kick. And with Sheamus, I now have to show you some very special about it. Not a lot of collectors know that when you take a closer look on the Sheamus bubble, you see on the boots, it's a white bubble there. But Mattel made a running change, and I really don't know the reason they make this bubble on the boots tighter. You see here in comparison to another here, very large. This is smaller. Also, when I change it, you see it very good. Maybe it was a reason of packaging. I really don't know. Later for the Jeff Hardy, they also used that newer bubble. But we really have here a running change on the Sheamus bubble. Very interesting. And what is also special, you see here on the boots is the FML 47 number right there, and normally on the retros this number is here on the boot. So this is a very rare Sheamus variant, so that makes it in total 5 mint on cards of Retro Series 7. And now let's go to the Lucy's. What we've learned, we don't have any stands now. The Mayhem code comes with that small piece of paper, so I put that here. And here's the figure FML 34, Shawn Michaels. Of course, a lot of people were not very happy about the face scan from Shawn Michaels. Of course, the ponytail is great, also the look of the pants, but this face was not the best they could do. And the move, of course, he comes Jack with a Sweet Chin Music, with a kick. Once again, bam, Sweet Chin Music from Shawn Michaels. So here he is. The next is FML 45, Kurt Angle. I put it next to HBK, and here he is with the Angle Slam. I think it's a great figure. The Angle Slam fits very good. Looks for me a bit like one of the American Gladiators. FML 46, Chris Jericho. Here we have him with a Code Breaker. I really don't know. It's a clothesline. I don't know how the Code Breaker really have to work with that figure, but it's great that he come with his scarf. Great accessory. And Sheamus FML 47 with the Bro Kick. This is a good action for the Sheamus figure. I really like the Sheamus figure. So I put it here next to Chris Jericho, of course, with his QR code for Mayhem FML 47 Sheamus. And I also have another Sheamus loose. That's what I told you on the different bubbles from Sheamus. I have here both variants of Sheamus. Of course, the figures are also slightly different. We have here the rarer one, again with the, I hope I can focus it here. Yes, here we have the FML 47 number on the inside of the boots. On the mint on card I showed you, the FML was outside of the boots, and here the normal thing is under the boots. Here you have the FML number. I have to focus it again. Here it is, FML 47, right there. So with that we have two Sheamus variants. And yeah, we have different FMLs with inside the boots, outside the boots. Yeah, of course, that's a bit crazy for collectors. You can be a hardcore collector like me and collect that stuff. And now let's talk about my favorite thing to talk retros, the body part reuses. And like you see here, we have a Dean Ambrose here. And we take that upper body of Dean Ambrose and use that here for the first figure of Retro Series 7 FML 34, Shawn Michaels. But it was not only Dean Ambrose upper body, it was also Sami Zayn. We use Sami Zayn's arms here, see it very good for Shawn Michaels, even with the same wristbands. And we used Sami Zayn's leg, but only this part. Shawn Michaels become own legs because he wear pants, so we don't see the boots or anything. So we have Shawn Michaels, a reuse of Dean Ambrose and Sami Zayn. FML 45 Kurt Angle was also a lot of reused part, and it was old school because we used the upper body was from John Cena, but he become new arms. You see, John Cena's wristband is not on Kurt Angle's arm. Also here his band, Kurt Angle was the first. Big E also got that, but was painted over. But Kurt Angle got his own arms for the first time, and that was great. So here we put John Cena in the back, and his lower body is from the Ultimate Warrior, but also one new part, the boots. Kurt Angle become new boots, not with the straps like the Ultimate Warrior. So Kurt Angle reuse parts from Ultimate Warrior and John Cena from Retro Series 1. FML 46 Chris Jericho, no new parts on him, all reused. I show it to you. We have from Mankind the upper body and the lower body, but, and I put it in front of him, we also have, like it was at the Stone Cold Steve Austin figure, he got Stone Cold Steve Austin's fist. And for the lower body, he become, and for the lower body, Mattel used AJ Styles boots. Like you see it here, AJ Styles boots for Chris Jericho, the Stone Cold right arm, and the rest is a Mankind. So we have here really one reused superstar out of 3 former retros from Series 2 and 3. So this is Chris Jericho. And last but not least, FML 47 Sheamus, absolute reuse from, I put it next to him here, Sami Zayn. Of course, you see it's the nearly same body, it's absolute the same body, but Sami Zayn also had a reuse part, and that was Dean Ambrose upper body. So Sheamus is a reuse of Dean Ambrose and Sami Zayn. But that Chris Jericho leave WWE and go to AEW was still a heartbreaking thing for WWE, and so they don't use Chris Jericho's retro figure at the WrestleMania Access retro display, where they show for the first time Retro Series 10. You see here on the picture is Sheamus, you see Shawn Michaels, on the left side you see Kurt Angle, but there was no Y2J Chris Jericho. And now let's take a look on Retro Series 7 inside the Mayhem mobile game.
So there he is, nice little twirl of Kurt Angle, the Olympic champion with the hair, looking very cool.
And with that, let's close this episode with the Series 7 checklist. We have the 4 mint on cards, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Sheamus. And we have, of course, the 4 Lucys. We have Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Sheamus. But we add here the special bubble variant of Sheamus. So we have in total 5 mint-on cards, 4 Lucys. That brings us to 9 Series 7 figures. And with that, I say thank you very much. This was the history of Retro Series 7. Next week, we talk about Retro Series 8. Till then, like you know, some retro eras, prototypes, and all that stuff you want to see. Here is Retro Series 7. See you next week. Bye. And I want to start with my own era, the only era in that way I have. It's from a huge friend. Thank you very much, Todd, again. And this is Shawn Michaels on Sheamus card. And so see us next week. Bye.
Are you ready? The champ is here! If you're the man.